In the vast, cold expanse of space, humanity was nothing more than a whisper, a forgotten footnote in the grand ledger of galactic civilizations. The Galactic Council, a consortium of advanced species that had ruled the cosmic corridors for millennia, barely acknowledged Earth's existence. They saw humans as primitive creatures, trapped on a small blue planet, dabbling in technologies that were mere child's play compared to their own sophisticated systems. Commander David Park stood motionless, his dark eyes reflecting the holographic displays that flickered with countless alien communication streams. Around him, the Earth's primary research station hummed with quiet energy, a testament to human determination that went unnoticed by the galactic powers. The latest transmission from the Council was brutally dismissive. A robotic voice translated, the alien language, each word dripping with condescension. Humans remain an inconsequential species, technologically primitive and strategically irrelevant. The words hung in the air, a challenge waiting to be answered. Specialist Elena Kim watched her commander, sensing the tension building beneath his calm exterior. She knew the history, how humanity had been systematically ignored, pushed to the margins of interstellar politics. But something was different now. Something was brewing. Small research stations dotted Earth's orbital regions, each one a silent sentinel of human potential. Scientists worked tirelessly, analyzing fragments of alien technology, studying captured communication signals, building knowledge piece by piece. They were collecting a puzzle that no one else believed they could solve. In the underground research facilities of Seoul, teams of engineers and scientists worked around the clock. They weren't just studying alien technology, they were reimagining it. Where other species saw limitations, humans saw opportunities. Where advanced civilizations saw impossible challenges, humans saw puzzles waiting to be solved. David Park understood something the Galactic Council did not. Humans were adaptable, they were survivors. Their history was a testament to overcoming impossible odds, of transforming limitations into strengths. From the first moment humans looked up at the stars, they didn't see barriers, they saw horizons. The research station's computer systems began tracking unusual quantum signatures, strange energy patterns that didn't match any known alien technological signatures were emerging. Something was changing, and only a few humans seemed to notice. Elena approached her commander, her tablet displaying complex mathematical equations and quantum fluctuation graphs. "Sir," she said quietly, "we're detecting something unusual in the outer communication bands." Park's eyes narrowed. Years of military training and scientific observation had taught him to recognize potential. "Show me," he responded, his voice steady and controlled. The holographic display shifted, revealing intricate patterns of energy that seemed to dance and weave in complex formations. These weren't random signals. They were structured, intentional. Something was trying to communicate, or perhaps something was preparing. Across Earth, similar research teams were making comparable discoveries. In laboratories in California, research centers in Europe, and technical institutes in Asia, scientists were piecing together a puzzle that the Galactic Council had assumed was unsolvable. Humanity was quiet, but humanity was not silent. The station's ambient lighting cast long shadows across the control room. Park understood that the next few months would be critical. The small discoveries they were making could potentially change everything. Not just for Earth, but for the entire galactic community that currently viewed humans with such profound disinterest. "They think we're nothing," Elena muttered, more to herself than to her commander. Park's response was simple but carried the weight of potential. Not for long. Outside the station's reinforced windows, Earth continued its steady rotation. Blue and green, fragile yet resilient, the planet seemed to hold secrets that no advanced civilization had yet comprehended. Millions of years of evolution, of survival, of adaptation had prepared humanity for this moment. The Galactic Council would learn. Slowly, methodically, humans would demonstrate that being overlooked was not the same as being weak. And when that moment came, the universe would remember this chapter in its history. The laboratory was silent except for the soft hum of advanced equipment. Dr. Michael Kwan stood before a complex array of quantum processors, his hands steady, his mind focused, on the breakthrough that had consumed the last 5 years of his life. The quantum adaptive propulsion prototype represented humanity's most ambitious technological leap. Years of research, countless failed experiments, and sleepless nights had led to this moment. Most scientific communities had written off Kwan's theories as impossible. The alien technological databases they had studied suggested that faster-than-light communication was beyond human capability. But Kwan knew something they didn't. Human innovation thrived on proving the impossible wrong. The prototype was deceptively simple in appearance. A small metallic cube, no larger than a standard computer server, sat in the center of a massive circular testing platform. Multiple sensor arrays surrounded it, each capable of capturing the most minute changes in quantum states. Kwan's team was a diverse group of brilliant minds, young engineers from different continents, each bringing unique perspectives and unconventional thinking. They weren't just scientists, they were dreamers who refused to accept limitations. "Final system check," Kwan announced, his voice calm and controlled. The team moved with practiced precision. Monitors flickered to life, displaying complex mathematical equations and energy readings. Each team member knew their role, understood the potential of what they were about to attempt. Outside the laboratory, the world continued its normal routine. Most humans had no idea that a potentially civilization-changing experiment was about to occur. Politicians argued, stock markets fluctuated, and people went about their daily lives, unaware that everything could change in a moment. The quantum processor began to pulse. Soft blue energy started to emerge from the metallic cube, creating intricate patterns that seemed to defy known physical laws. Traditional physics suggested this should be impossible, but human science had always been about pushing boundaries. Michael watched the energy signatures carefully. Each pulse represented years of mathematical calculations, theoretical physics, and pure human determination. The system was adapting, learning, transforming energy in ways no previous technology had achieved. Suddenly, the quantum processor did something unexpected. It began to generate communication signals that were instantaneous, bypassing traditional limitations of time and space. The team watched in stunned silence as complex data streams appeared, showing communication happening faster than light could travel. "Connection established," the computer system announced neutrally. The implications were enormous. This wasn't just a technological breakthrough, it was a fundamental reimagining of how communication and transportation could work. Alien civilizations that had dismissed humans would soon realize that humanity was capable of remarkable things. Kwan's colleague, Dr. Sarah Chen, approached the monitoring station. Her eyes reflected both excitement and scientific caution. "The quantum entanglement is stable," she muttered, checking multiple data streams simultaneously. The laboratory erupted in carefully controlled excitement. Years of work, millions of research dollars, and countless theoretical models had culminated in this single moment. Humanity had just demonstrated that they could create technology that defied existing understanding. Outside, the first rays of morning sunlight began to filter through the laboratory windows. The world was waking up, completely unaware that everything was about to change. The quantum processor continued its silent revolution. Each pulse represented a challenge to existing technological paradigms. Faster-than-light communication was no longer a distant dream, but an emerging reality. Michael Kwan allowed himself a small smile. This was more than a scientific achievement. This was a statement. A declaration that humans would not be defined by current limitations. They would create their own path, their own future. The computer system continued processing, adapting, learning. Quantum signals danced across monitoring screens, each representing a potential new chapter in human technological evolution. No alien civilization was watching. No galactic council was monitoring this small laboratory. But that would change. Soon the universe would realize that the species they had so casually dismissed was about to change everything. The breakthrough had begun, quietly, precisely, inevitably. The Zalarian battle fleet approached Earth with absolute confidence. Massive ships stretched across the solar system, their advanced weaponry gleaming with destructive potential. Commander Vex, a veteran of countless galactic conquests, viewed humans as nothing more than another primitive species to be subjugated. Earth's defense systems were unlike anything the Zalarians had encountered before. Instead of massive weapon platforms, they had developed an adaptive defense network that could predict and counter attacks with unprecedented precision. Commander David Park watched the incoming fleet through the advanced holographic displays. His team had spent years preparing for this moment, studying alien invasion tactics, building systems that could think and react faster than any traditional military defense. "Incoming hostile vessels," the computer system announced. Its voice was calm, almost casual. The Zalarian ships moved with what they believed was overwhelming superiority. They had conquered hundreds of civilizations. Their technology was centuries ahead of most species. Humans were just another target, another world to be conquered and forgotten. But they didn't understand human adaptability. As the first wave of Zalarian attack missiles approached, Earth's defense systems came alive. Quantum processors analyzed each incoming threat milliseconds before impact. Defensive energy fields shifted and adapted, creating complex mathematical shields that absorbed and redirected destructive energy. The first Zalarian ships suddenly found their weapons useless. Missiles that should have destroyed entire cities simply dissolved or were redirected back towards their origin points. The adaptive defense system was learning, evolving with each millisecond of conflict. Park's voice remained steady. Engage comprehensive defense protocols. Across Earth, military and scientific teams worked in perfect synchronization. This wasn't just a battle. It was a demonstration of human potential. Every system was connected. Every defense was intelligent. Every response was calculated. The Zalarian commander couldn't understand what was happening. His advanced battle computers showed impossible scenarios. Weapons that should have worked were being neutralized. Attack strategies that had conquered hundreds of civilizations were falling apart. "Impossible," Vex muttered, watching his fleet's systematic destruction. Humans had created something revolutionary, a defense system that didn't just block attacks, but understood them. Each incoming threat was analyzed, its potential trajectories calculated, its energy signatures broken down and neutralized. Elena Kim monitored the global defense network. Her fingers moved across quantum interfaces, adjusting defense parameters with surgical precision. The entire planet had become a single, intelligent organism of defense. The battle lasted less than 30 minutes. When it was over, the Zalarian fleet was reduced to floating debris. No human lives were lost. No human cities were damaged. It was a complete, absolute victory. Commander Park understood the significance of this moment. This wasn't just a defensive victory. This was a message to the entire galaxy. Humans were not a species to be overlooked or conquered. Communication signals were sent out, not threats, not declarations of war, simply a calm mathematical demonstration of what had just occurred. The Zalarian defeat was presented as a clinical, scientific report. News spread quickly across human communication networks. But there was no celebration, no wild excitement, just a calm understanding that everything had changed. The Galactic Council would receive the report soon. They would see the detailed analysis of how a supposedly primitive species had completely destroyed an advanced invasion fleet without losing a single human life. As debris from the Zalarian ships continued to float in Earth's orbital regions, Commander Park made a simple notation in the official report. First contact completed. Outcome, successful defense. The universe had just learned an important lesson about humanity. They were not just survivors. They were innovators. They were adaptable, and they would not be conquered. The first conflict had ended, but humanity's real journey was just beginning. The Galactic Council chamber fell silent when the human representative walked in. Ambassador William Choi carried no weapons, no advanced technological displays, just a simple data tablet and an expression of calm determination. Centuries of galactic political tradition were about to be rewritten. Alien representatives from various star systems watched with a mixture of fear, curiosity, and reluctant respect. Humans had done something no species had ever accomplished. They had transformed from an overlooked civilization to a major galactic power in less than a decade. Choi began his presentation without drama. Mathematical projections, technological demonstrations, and strategic analysis replaced traditional diplomatic speeches. Each slide showed how human innovation had fundamentally changed galactic understanding of technology, communication, and strategic engagement. The quantum adaptive network, humanity's most significant technological breakthrough, was now a standard communication platform across multiple star systems. What was once considered impossible was now standard operational technology. "We are not conquerors," Choi stated simply. "We are collaborators." The council members exchanged uncertain glances. Humans were offering technological partnerships instead of territorial demands. This was unprecedented in galactic political history. Earth's approach was different. Where other civilizations sought dominance, humans sought mutual development. Their technological platforms were designed to be shared, their scientific discoveries open-sourced across interested species. Behind the diplomatic discussions, massive changes were happening. Human research teams were working alongside alien scientists. Technological exchange programs became standard. Universities across different star systems began accepting human researchers and students. The economic impact was extraordinary. Human adaptive technologies transformed entire industrial sectors. Transportation, communication, energy production. Everything changed. Species that collaborated with humans found themselves experiencing unprecedented technological growth. Commander David Park, watching the diplomatic proceedings, understood the deeper strategy. This wasn't just about technological superiority. This was about reshaping galactic relationships through innovation and collaboration. Alien civilizations that had once dismissed humans were now seeking partnership agreements. The same species that had called humans primitive were now sending diplomatic missions to Earth, hoping to understand the source of human innovation. The transformation wasn't just technological, it was philosophical. Humans introduced concepts of collaborative progress that challenged existing galactic political structures. They didn't seek to replace existing systems but to improve them. Each technological breakthrough was accompanied by ethical considerations and potential societal impacts. Dr. Michael Kwan, the primary architect of the Quantum Adaptive Network, was now a respected figure across multiple star systems. His research teams included scientists from dozens of alien civilizations, all working towards collective technological advancement. The Galactic Council's traditional power structures were slowly dissolving. Merit, innovation, and collaborative potential were becoming more important than historical territorial claims or technological age. Ambassador Choi's final statement captured the essence of this new approach. Our strength is not in conquest, but in our ability to learn, adapt, and grow together. As the diplomatic session concluded, something fundamental had changed. Humans were no longer viewed as a minor species. They were recognized as a critical component of galactic development. The universe had underestimated humanity, and now the universe was learning its lesson. Alien representatives left the council chamber with a new understanding. Humans were not just another species. They were a transformative force that would reshape galactic civilization. In research, laboratories, diplomatic halls, and starship corridors, a new era was beginning. An era where human innovation, collaborative spirit, and adaptive thinking would play a central role in galactic progress. The new galactic order had arrived, and it looked remarkably human.